Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by Burkins Chevrolet. If you're from GA or FLA, you should be driving a Burkins Chevrolet. Come on. Hit it.
I'm about to freaking cut off. I'm about to extract at one time a beauty mark on the drill body. I'm about to cut a major part of the drill out of my life.
Oh dear.
By the way, yeah.
An extraction.
The same said Guggen will go unnamed, but we're about to go like
exile.
Yeah, in all seriousness. I'm about to cut bait with what has become a freaking thorn in the side. Just leave it at that.
On that note.
If and when we do, well, no, I'll feel free to announce it. But unlike some people, I don't like to just, indeterminately drag them through the mud for no reason, if you know what I'm saying. So there you have it. What do we got? 10-minute drill?
10-minute drill time, baby.
Beauty. I like it. Talking
kick it
sports.
around.
What we do here at the sports station. We talk sports.
Rationalizations.
All right, good.
As you guys are wanting to say. And stay tuned, Guggens, after the segment. At the end, we'll do a cue to call, and one lucky Guggen's going to score a pair of tickets to go down to the Florida Theater Friday night for Dennis DeYoung and Night Ranger. But without further ado, Jeff, you said when you got here you were more or less phased by this than it seems like the national perspective is, but bizarre press conference held yesterday in L.A. as Magic Johnson announced he was stepping down as president of operations for the Lakers immediately before he had met with his boss or anybody else. Held a press conference to announce this, said he wanted to go back to having more fun and being able to be part of other people in the league's lives. So, what's to make of this?
Magic Johnson is a huge name. So the name value of the person involved is huge. The actual effect is nothing. It's smaller than a blip. If Laker fan put any other name than Magic Johnson on the president of basketball operations, they'd be throwing a parade today that he's leaving. He's been terrible. What has Magic Johnson done in 2 years as Lakers president? Answer, nothing. And don't tell me he got LeBron. Listen, gang, LeBron was going to play for the Lakers if Kyrie Irving had been the president of basketball operations. That's where he wanted to go. He's Hollywood now. He's only half basketball. He's half basketball, half Hollywood. As a matter of fact, maybe it's a benefit that the Lakers have missed the playoffs. He can get an early start on shooting Space Jam 2. And Magic,
by the way, he's having a terrible time getting cast.
What do you mean? Like his basketball friends won't do it with him?
Yeah, like none of the big names want to go because they don't want to be the guy that LeBron dunks on in Space Jam.
Yeah, I don't think LeBron is well liked. I mean, it's hard to get around that, but this isn't about LeBron. It's about Magic Johnson. So the actual effect of this to me is nothing. I mean, it's nothing. They have a GM already. This is another topic for another time. I've loved sports, covered sports, followed sports for a long, long time, a lot of years. I'm not sure I can tell you right now what the difference in the president and the GM is. I don't know. Do we even know? Look, I can't get. Who ultimately makes the decision? What's the answer to that? Do they confirm decisions? Do they make decisions? I mean, here in Jacksonville, we're told that Dave Caldwell runs that part of it. Tom Coughlin just oversees everything. Yet in L.A. with the Lakers and the NBA, Rob Pelinka is the GM, but it's the president, Magic Johnson, who got LeBron or who made the move. So, I mean, if it is Magic making the moves, I mean, despite his wonderful countenance and his legacy in L.A., he's not a good president of basketball operations. The team has missed the playoffs 6 straight years, and this year they did it with the best player on the planet. So I can't imagine it's a bad move for L.A., but it was a surprising one, and that was the weird part, is that he had a press conference that he resigned before he told his bosses and the owner.
Or anyone else.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we always thirst for any kind of new news or anything from the NFL. It's a 365 league. So yesterday, the preseason schedule was released. I know we're not huge preseason football fans, but does the slate of games or how they fall do anything for you?
Oh, no. No, not really. I mean, I got some Atlantalytics. I get the Falcons in town week 4 when all the fourth stringers play.
You can see all the guys who won't be on the team.
The Eagles come to town, so that's interesting from the Nick Foles part, but I thought Taylor Dahl made a really good point earlier. It's not like Foles is going back to Philly. That would be a major storyline. This is, ho-hum. I do think it's very interesting that week 3 at Miami, because of the date, there's a lot of split loyalty going on that weekend from this standpoint. Gators and Canes, Miami and Florida, play their college football kickoff opener on the 24th, the Saturday of that weekend. So it's good news for most of us to see that the Jags-Miami game will be played on Thursday night. And by the way, that'll be a Fox National game. So always cool to get a little bit of national TV, coverage and love, even in the preseason.
We're counting down the days now, Jeff, to the NFL draft.
All right.
Now just 2+ weeks out.
Yeah, it's the 25th. So, 2 weeks from tomorrow it'll start.
And, the Jags sit at 7. And you guys have talked about this in the past, the idea that should, on the off chance Dwayne Haskins is available at 7, just how much consideration would you give it, being that you just signed Nick Foles? And the gang over at SB Nation and their kind of draft analysis put out a piece. This is what they wrote. It said, it probably won't happen, unfortunately, but it should. A rookie quarterback deal is so affordable, relatively speaking, that adding one alongside a veteran is a smart play, especially true considering how inconsistent Foles has been during his career.
I mean, no. Listen, I get it. And first of all, Haskins has to be a no-brainer. This would also be different if Nick Foles had 2 years left on his contract. They just signed him. They just gave him the $88 million in 4 years. There's too much lag time here. I'm not opposed to using a 3rd, 4th rounder on a Jarrett Stidham or Gardner Minshew or the big Tyler Jackson kid from Buffalo, someone there. And it helps that there's not a true defined backup quarterback even on this team. So I'm not anti-quarterback, but you went to sign Nick Foles because you believe he can be a playoff quarterback. And if you're going to be a playoff team, you have to use the 7th pick on the draft and a guy who's going to play right away. So, I mean, I understand the dream scenario of somehow getting Dwayne Haskins. In fact, I didn't really argue, but I kind of brought it up yesterday talking with embedded ESPN reporter Mike DeRocco. But, that being said, no. You can't do that.
Lastly, speaking of the draft, 2 weeks out, more or less, they announced the name of the 23 players who will be in the green room for the draft in Nashville this year. And Kyler Murray will be there. And most mock drafts seem to project him as the number 1 pick. But now there's been a little bit of, smoke coming out of Phoenix that, the players are speaking out in support of Josh Rosen. And, the team's official website listed quarterback as a, quote, low priority. So this could be a little more, spin out of Arizona. But, what's the probability in your estimation that Kyler Murray is in fact number 1, or is there a chance that he's not?
And I don't know if they're protecting Josh Rosen's feelings, but there's no reason to play a mind game here. You have the top pick. Like if you knew the first 2 teams picking weren't going to take quarterback. They had, Matt Ryan and Andrew Luck or whoever. And then the 3rd team was playing this game. You'd be like, yeah, right, sure. But because they have the number 1 pick, there's nothing to really be gained. This is a lot like the Jags drafting a quarterback, though. I mean, if you take Kyler Murray number 1 overall, you better get it right. There are a lot of pro personnel guys out there that would tell you that Josh Rosen is better than Kyler Murray. He's, Murray's just the new flavor in town, but that, Josh Rosen with a year of seasoning, you took those lumps last year. One thing, I don't buy in the players speaking for Josh Rosen. That shouldn't matter to the front office. You want your players backing, their teammates. So I don't think that is really part of it. But it would sure seem like they're going to take Kyler Murray, from all the smoke and fire that we've seen. So I would say that. Oh.
Little Night Ranger for you, Jeff.
Sure. Well, and a little Night Ranger for you listening out there. Caller number 3 right now going to get a pair of tickets to see both Night Ranger and Dennis DeYoung of Styx on Friday night at the Florida Theater. So coming up this weekend, that could be fun.
By the way, between you and Gitz Marjan and now Chris Reimer, I will defer that apparently traffic is more severe today.
Yeah, right? Yeah, there's something going on out there. And it started early. I drove in the 5 o'clock hour, and it looked like it was rush hour of some sort. So.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
We have a special happy birthday shout out.
Yeah, I was going to remind you. Give me some birthday music. I understand that there are many of you kids out there. Can I get birthday music or no?
Efforting.
Yeah. I can't throw out this birthday shout out to a pair of 15-year-old twin girls with "Don't Tell Me You Love Me." Just can't do it. You know what I mean? No, but seriously, we have a situation here in town, and it happens every morning between about 6:45 and 8:30. And that situation is so many of you kids are locked in the car with your dads or your moms, and they're listening to the drill, and you can't help but love it, can you? A shout out this morning to a pair of young girls turned 15 today, Claire and Caitlin Jones. Reach over there and punch Daddy in the arm for making you listen every morning on your way to school. So in all seriousness, happy birthday, girls. Have a great day. And we'll be back with more of The Drill next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.